Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to try out a new bronzer that I picked up from Walmart. We are going to try out one of TikTok's viral lipsticks that I have been seeing everywhere, and we are going to do a little up-to-date contour tutorial for you guys. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I created this look and what makeup I am using, then just keep watching. All right, so I'm gonna do a makeup look. It is New Year's Eve. We are going out tonight for some appetizers, and then we're all gonna get together with our kids and just ring in the new year. This is probably my least favorite holiday of the year. I don't know about you guys, but New Year's to me is so overrated. I am done with the holidays by the time we get to this phase. I just would love nothing more than to just be cozy, watching Netflix. It's probably the tourist in me, but I'm in good company, so it's always fun when we're all together as a big group. We're all related, so it's fun. The kids have fun. So I'm gonna get ready and do my makeup. I went to pick up some snacks because school is starting again, and I hit up Walmart. I needed to get some dog food, and they had this brand here that I have not tried or heard of before. I think it is called Uoma Beauty by Sharon C. So I've been kind of eyeing out a few of their products. This one is a bronzer, and it's like a cream to powder bronzer. So I think it's gonna be hydrating, but then kind of settle as a powdered bronzer. So really want to try that out and see how it is. They haven't restocked the one that I probably would have wanted, so I just got one that was a little bit lighter, and they had some blushes like this as well, so really want to try that out, as well as the Revlon, I think it is the Lustrous, super lustrous. So this has been viral on TikTok. Again, there wasn't really any neutral colors there. There wasn't the color that I wanted, but I did pick up glassy pink. So I'm excited to try that out. It looks really hydrating and just iridescent, so it won't be so pigmented. But this has been all over TikTok, so I was excited to try this out and see what it was all about. So I already prepped my face with the Milani Glow. I have this in the shade 210. I feel like 2022 was the year of the tinted moisturizer, hydrating, light coverage foundations, and this was one of my favorites this year. I used it a lot. I just love the smell, love how it looks on the skin. So I'm just doing that today for foundation. For concealer, I'm going with the Anti-Dots. The Balms concealer, I also have been loving this, just more of a natural cream concealer. I use my concealer brush with this one just to lightly pick up some of the concealer and just feather it onto the skin to keep it looking really light and really natural on the skin underneath the eye that is a little thinner, a little bit more weathered for me. So I just like to build it up this way and not have to worry about it settling into fine lines. And just using something a little bit closer to my skin tone, just looks a little bit more natural. This is a nice creamy one. It is in the middle of being hydrating and more on the matte side. It's just in between. So it's not too matte and not too dewy. And sometimes with aging skin, either or can look bad, can just settle in. Things that are super hydrating and super high shine can kind of settle in and exaggerate fine lines, as well as obviously things that are really, really matte. I'm gonna do the little trick that I've been doing lately and going in with the Becca Under Eye Brightening Cream over top of the concealer. Again, I saw Kylie Jenner's makeup artist Ariel do this on TikTok. This is just a nice way just to give a little bit of brightness and hydration over a concealer. So maybe if you do have a concealer that you find too drying or too matte or too dark even, you could just pop on a little brightening cream that's a little bit dewier over top of that. And I just pat it in with my fingers. I don't set it with any powder, and it lasts perfectly fine for me throughout the day. Since it is a night out, I'm gonna go a little bit darker with my contour. You're at a restaurant, the lights are a little dimmer, so I can go a little bit heavier with my makeup. And we're gonna do kind of like a little refresher for our contour and just kind of go through where we should be contouring or could be contouring. There's no should. You should always do your makeup the way you feel comfortable, the way you love it. And that's what I do. There's a lot of people that do contour and their first thing is put it up on the cheekbone, put it up on the cheekbone. That just does not work for me. That is just going to elongate this half of my face, and I don't like the way that looks. I like when we have brightness on our cheekbones. We have color, we have pigment, we have highlighter, we have our golden bronzers. I like my contour to just kind of hug my cheekbone, like to follow that. I already have that natural like shadow there. You can see it. That's what I want to follow and exaggerate and just kind of round out my cheekbones. I don't need it up here. I don't need to create a really like strong angle on top of my cheekbone and emphasize the bottom half. So just like to go under and hug it, obviously just around the outside edges of the face. I like it right at the tip of my nose to shorten the space between our lip and our nose. Definitely like a little bit up here. Contour that back. Instantly we're getting the underneath our brow, we're getting that natural highlight there. So that is good. I always go in behind this corner. I don't go right along the jawline. I go in here and that just pops it out. Also this year we've seen a lot of people do with their contour is they'll come down and do the model cheekbone. So when your skin is aging, jowls are setting in, like I have some lines there. Doing that just kind of looks like blobby. It doesn't look very nice. It doesn't give me model cheekbones. What I prefer instead to do is find a nice flat surface on the skin right here. You can see I already have a little bit of shadow there. So go in and accentuate that look. Now we already have a more defined chin. We don't need to get up all in here and it just messes around and just looks like blobby there. If you still have teen 20-something skin, it works nice. Skin is aging. We want to accentuate the chin, find a nice firm flat spot on the face, and that'll work a lot better. Always blending up with our contour, so you will get some of that pigment up on the cheekbone. So if you're starting your contour up here and you're blending up, your contour's like underneath your eyeball, so it's not where you want it. Your bronzer, yes. Your contour, no thank you. All right, blend it out perfectly. We don't even need to put any sort of highlighter in the spots where you would highlight because we've contoured and just created that depth already, and naturally these spots are just going to be brighter and you don't have to cake on extra makeup and it just looks clean and fresher. And what about that chin? Like, look at perfect little bit of contour there just to bring the chin a little bit more forward. All right, before I try any powdered bronzer over this, I do want to go in with this Flawless in Real Life bronzer. So I got the shade On Point. So let's open it up and let's touch it and give it a swatch. So yeah, it feels really creamy like a balm. And then as you blend it out on your hand, it just instantly felt like it turned into powder and just looks nice and smooth and powder-like without like getting that residual powder look and without looking ultra dewy, ultra creamy, and where you have it on your face and it's creamy and you get your hair stuck in it and stuff. Nice, just dried down so beautifully. So I think what I want to try is a flat brush for this. I don't want to use my finger really because it did quickly dry down into a powder. I think that I want to try just using a nice flat brush, any kind of flat foundation brush that you have. This one's a little bit more dense. It's old, it's Cover FX liquid foundation brush I got at Shoppers. So let's try just going in like that first and seeing. I'm just going to start right here in the middle of my cheek. I think that'll give me a good guide as if I want to go back or forward with it. And if it's not super blendable, like this is a good spot just to kind of start it out as. And I like that it's nice and golden. That is going really nicely with the coolness of the contour from the KKW. And that blended out really, really pretty. Not too much, like it feels buildable without being like ultra pigmented where the product's kind of sliding around and you have to really blend it out. Ooh, that is pretty. In real life, I'm getting more pigment, really pretty golden bronzer. Definitely want to try out some of their blushes. That is just sitting really, really nicely on the skin. I really, really am impressed with this Uoma Beauty. There's not much product left on the brush after putting it onto the skin. So the product just blended into the skin, didn't go down into the brush. So most of your product is going to be on your skin instead of in your makeup brush. And this was about $15.97 Canadian, so about $16 with tax Canadian. Well worth it. Very, very nice. I don't really need to, but I'm just gonna go in with my CoverGirl bronzer in Sunset Glitz just for a little bit more warmth and just to set it in place. And I'm kind of just curious to see how a powder bronzer is gonna look over top of this and see if it just kind of sticks to it too much. It's not. It's actually pairing really nicely with this bronzer. It's bringing out the glow a little bit more in this bronzer. So those two pair beautifully together. So just a little bit more warmth, a little bit more glow. I'm just going to keep it really simple with the eye look tonight. I am enjoying just this nice golden glitzy glow that I have. I'm just going to play up on that. So I'm going to take my mud brush. This is an 800S brush, just a fluffy brush, and my Ash K Home palette. I'm going to go into the shade Teddy, which is just a nice warm neutral, and I'm going to place that up on top of the brow bone. just in a nice soft motion, light-handed, in towards the inner corner. So blending up, along, and then going to the inner corner, up on the brow bone. So we're keeping this area nice and bright. This color is just playing up with the other warm bronzing tones that I have going on. You see that little spot in there when my eye is open. I'm just gonna kind of pop in a little bit of color there. And I'm just gonna go in with this brush from Prideful and the shade Iconic, which is just a nice cream color. Got a little bit of shimmer to it, and I'm just gonna place that all over the lid. Going into this inner space right here, and that is just brightening up that inner corner, creating a bigger lid space, elongating our eye, brightening up any dark bluish purple tones. You can even keep your eye open and just pop some of the bright color in there where you want to just neutralize the darkness. All right, so I lined my lips with my favorite combination of my Annabelle eyebrow pencil and Bear to Comment. It's just the combination that I use with everything, so it's just the perfect liner to just create a little bit of structure around the lips. Don't want to mess with the color too much because I want to see what this looks like. So this is new from Revlon, the Super Lustrous. These are super popular on TikTok, and I was curious to see how they looked. So I got it in the shade, like I said, glassy pink, and they're just supposed to be super hydrating. It's more pigmented than I thought it would be. It definitely feels very hydrating. So I think I would definitely want this in more of a neutral tone, but I just really wanted to try them out and see what they look like on the lips. So more pigmented than I thought, which is good if you want some of that pigment, and definitely a nice high shine. Feels very hydrating on the lips, and I actually really like it. It's like a nice pinky coral color, plays well with the warmth in my hair with the golden in the bronzer. I think it looks really pretty. All right, I just popped on some mascara. So this is the final look. So the Revlon Lustrous is like the perfect mix of when you put on whatever shade of lipstick you want to wear, plus the gloss over top. This is like a one and done feel for me. It actually looks really pretty in person. The camera's making it look a little bit brighter, but it just looks really smooth and hydrating on the lips. So very, very pretty. I'm definitely impressed with that. And the bronzer, outstanding. The Uoma bronzer was gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. The way it just blends out onto the skin, the tone, I just love the gold, the warmth that I'm getting from this bronzer, the way it blended out, the way it paired with a powdered bronzer. definitely I have to try the blushes from this line and check out some more of their products. There are a couple other products that I was curious about trying. So this is the final look, my final video of 2022. Let's all hope for a magical 2023 to happen. Fingers crossed that it is far and away the best. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again in my next video.